But these have not been challenged. He found in cell 35 as that of Bester. And then it goes on to say, in claiming this body, the declares that by defense says, keep on saying, the state must produce. We are not busy with trial. We are busy here with a bail application, where certain factors must be considered. She go and gives us an insofar as the strength of the state's case is concerned, what does our higher court say in that regard? Let's look at State versus Jonas. It's a 1998 volume. The applicant must adduce acceptance and exercising your right to silence and not to disclose the basis of defense is two different aspects. 5 is also a supreme. That failed to make a case or has relied on one which is so lacking, David, which is not being challenged in any manner by way of evidence, is a person who was sentenced to life and who was supposed to be at G4S prison at the time. That is accused 5, that the applicant says kidnapped her. And in her application or affidavit, her address appears to be the address in Gauteng. G4S prison is in Bloemfontein in the Free State. Where and how they met, they decide not to reveal that to the court. And yet, they say, accused 5 kidnapped me. They do not reveal where they met, how he kidnapped her at all. Is it by gunpoint? Is it by knife? How was she kidnapped? If indeed we have to believe she was kidnapped. It is my submission that in this aspect, she's not taking this court into her confidence. And yet, the investigating officer is told, we are told, he's not giving evidence, he's not getting into detail of how the charges, and yet, that's what the applicant does. We do not know how she got kidnapped and where. Nonetheless, the investigating officer in his affidavit give reasons why he does not buy into this story. He gives reasons. We are told that no one in this country, no one even in this court, can really say how she got into Tanzania. But what the investigating officer is saying, which they are not saying, is that anyhow she found herself in Tanzania, she did not use a passport, which is a requirement for her to get into another country. That has also not been disputed, not by evidence, and not even by their own addresses. That the passport was not stamped. How then do you find yourself in Tanzania having been kidnapped? They don't even say what, where, which border they crossed. And yet they are the ones who raised this, that this is how I found myself in Tanzania. The investigating officer, all that he says is, what I know is that he did not use a passport. And then Your Worship, Advocate Dlamini, when addressing you on the aspect that was raised by the investigating officer of a travel abroad, the investigating officer says from her passport, he could see that she has been abroad 23 times, or she has traveled 23 times. And Advocate Dlamini says, so what? Is she not allowed to travel abroad? What's wrong with that? What he does not address is that the difference between her traveling 23 times or so abroad and this particular traveling that we are busy with is that in this instance, the passport was not used. In the other 23 instances, the investigating officer says there are stamps that show that she has been going. But in this instance, the investigating officer says, this time, she has not used the passport. What does that mean? It can only mean that she unlawfully crossed into Tanzania. How? By way of kidnapped. By who? Accused number 5. Do we have that? No. In her affidavit, he says the kidnapping took place on the 17th of March, 2023. And the investigating officer in his affidavit says they were arrested in Tanzania on the 7th of April, 2023. That means from the 17th until the 17th of March 2023 until the 7th of April 2023, the applicant has all along been with the kidnapper, with the person who has kidnapped him, because they were arrested, both of them were arrested at the same time, according to the affidavit of the investigating officer, together with another person from a foreign national. Worship, I state here at paragraph 4.3.3 that kidnapping is a criminal offense. And then Snyman described kidnapping as unlawfully and intentionally depriving a person of his or her freedom of movement. This is what the applicant says happened. And the investigating officer then raises an issue, Your Worship. He says, Mr. Mdlovu, don't say it's a choice, says it's her prerogative. The applicant is kidnapped by accused 5. She says she resisted, she was overpowered, and the like. In other words, accused 5 in her own weight, if we have to agree this, accused 5 take her away from her children, 2 children, denying her with that action the parental responsibility that she says she has over the 2 children. God says